You think you need money to make money. But the real problem isn't your bank account. It's not even your job. The real problem is that almost nobody understands what wealth actually is. And because of that, most people spend their entire lives optimizing the wrong number. Here's what almost nobody tells you. Two people can earn the exact same income for 10 years straight. Same job, same salary, same raises. And one of them ends up wealthy. The other ends up exactly where they started. Same income, wildly different outcomes. That's not random. That's not luck. There's a specific reason it happens, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. The part that surprises most people? The safest feeling path. Work hard, save a little every month. Wait until you have enough to start investing. Is often the exact path that keeps people stuck the longest. It feels responsible. It photographs well on a budgeting app. And it's quietly one of the slowest routes to real wealth that exists. Keep that in your head, because we're not solving it yet. By the end of this video, you're going to understand 3 things. The hidden mistake almost everyone makes about what wealth actually is. Why smart, disciplined people fall for it anyway. And the exact sequence, starting from literally $0, that lets you build real wealth using things you already own right now. Today, whether you have $10 or 10,000. If you like videos that actually change how you think instead of just repeating tips you've heard 100 times, go ahead and hit like and subscribe now. It genuinely helps this channel keep making videos like this. Now, back to the story, because it's about to get interesting. Let's start with a question that sounds simple, but almost nobody answers correctly. What is wealth? Most people would say money. Specifically, savings. The number sitting in your bank account. But here's the distinction that changes everything, and I want you to really sit with this one. Money is not wealth. Money is a receipt. It's proof that value was created somewhere, by something, at some point. The wealth was never the cash sitting in your account. The wealth was whatever produced that cash in the first place. Picture a bucket under a tap. The money in your bank account, that's the bucket. It fills up when the tap runs. Most people spend their entire financial lives obsessing over the bucket. How big is it? How full is it? How do I protect what's already inside it? Almost nobody asks the more important question, where's my tap? And how do I build a bigger one? Hold on to that. Bucket versus tap. It's going to matter a lot in a few minutes, because it's the key to literally everything we're about to cover. Now, let's talk about the mistake almost everyone makes, because it's completely understandable. And if you've made it, you're not behind. You were just taught the wrong model. You start working. You get paid. So naturally, you assume the way to build wealth is work more, save more, eventually invest what you've saved. It sounds reasonable. It's what most parents say. It's what 90% of personal finance content repeats on a loop, dressed up in different colors each time. And for a while, it does seem to work. Your savings account inches upward. You feel responsible. You feel like you're winning. But here's the quiet backfire, and this is the first real aha moment of this video. You are trading hours for dollars. And hours are the one resource on earth you cannot manufacture more of. You have 24 today. You'll have 24 tomorrow. So even in the best case version of this strategy, your income has a hard ceiling baked into its foundation because it's chained directly to your time. That's not a discipline problem. That's a structural problem. You could be the most disciplined saver alive and still hit that ceiling, because the ceiling isn't about effort. It's about the design of the strategy itself. But that's only the first problem. It gets more interesting from here, because there are at least 4 more traps hiding behind this one, and most people never even notice them. The second trap is something economists call lifestyle inflation, though you really don't need the fancy term to recognize it once I describe it. Every time your income rises, your spending quietly rises right along with it. New job, slightly nicer apartment. Raise at work, slightly nicer car. It feels like progress. It photographs like success. But it's actually a treadmill that resets your bucket back toward empty, again and again, no matter how fast the tap runs. Here's the number that makes this real. Someone earning $80,000 a year who saves 15% will out-accumulate someone earning $200,000 who saves nothing within about a decade. Income size means almost nothing if the bucket has a leak matched to it. That's the hidden consequence nobody puts on a billboard. We'll come back to that leak in a minute, because fixing it is easier than you'd think. The third trap is sneakier, and it catches almost everyone at some point, including plenty of financially literate people. It's the belief that you need money before you're allowed to start building wealth. That wealth building happens after you've saved enough. So people wait. They wait for the right amount, the right market conditions, the perfect plan. And the waiting itself quietly becomes the most expensive decision they'll ever make. Because time is the one ingredient that compounds, and every year spent waiting is a year of compounding that's gone forever. Not delayed. Gone. Keep that word, compounding, in your head, because it's about to explain almost everything else in this video. The fourth trap is thinking money is your only tool. It's not. And this is where things start to shift, so let's slow down here for a second. That's a lot to take in already, so here's the simple version. Most people think there's exactly one resource available for building wealth: dollars. Save dollars, invest dollars, grow dollars. But dollars are just one form of capital, and honestly, they're the hardest one to get from zero. There are other forms sitting right in front of you. Skill is capital. Time is capital, especially the earlier in life you are. Attention is capital. Audiences and reach are worth real money in this economy. Even relationships and reputation function as capital. $0 does not mean zero capital. It just means you've been counting the wrong asset. Now, the fifth trap, and this is the one that quietly derails people even after they understand everything else. It's confusing motion with progress. Reading books about wealth. Watching videos about wealth. Following 12 different finance accounts. Bookmarking strategies. That feels productive. It feels like you're doing something. But consuming information about building an asset is not the same as building one. It's possible to spend years feeling busy around money without ever actually starting the tap. And that brings us to the big reframe. The moment this entire video has been building toward. Wealth isn't built by moving money around more cleverly. Wealth is built by acquiring an asset. Anything that produces value without requiring your constant hours for dollars labor, and then giving that asset enough time to compound. Read that again in your head, because here's what it means practically. You don't need money to start. You need an asset. And you can build an asset from absolute $0 using skill, time, and attention instead of cash. This is why some people start dead broke and end up genuinely wealthy within a decade, while others start with a comfortable salary and stay financially stuck for 30 years. It was never really about the size of the starting bucket. It was always about whether a tap was under construction. So let's get specific. Here's the practical framework. 6 steps, starting from $0. No exceptions needed at the entry point. Step 1. Pick exactly one skill the market already pays for and get uncomfortably good at it. Not a vague interest. Something with provable demand. Writing, coding, sales, editing, design, whatever genuinely fits you. This is your raw capital, and it costs nothing but time and attention, which is precisely why it's available to you right now regardless of your bank balance. Most people skip this step because it feels slow. It's supposed to feel slow. Skill is the entry fee, not the shortcut. Step 2. Package that skill into something repeatable. A specific service. A small, definable product. A clear result you can promise a stranger. This is the exact moment your skill stops being a personal trait and becomes an actual asset, something other people will hand money over for, predictably, more than once. Step 3, and this is where most people quietly sabotage their own progress. Reinvest before you upgrade your lifestyle. Every dollar this new asset produces goes back into growing it first. Better tools, more visibility, more reach, more reps, instead of funding a nicer phone or a slightly bigger apartment. This single habit, more than any other on this list, is the actual difference between someone whose income rises and someone whose wealth rises. It's boring. It's also non-negotiable. Step 4. Build something that runs without your direct hours attached to it. A course, an audience, a small system, a piece of software, a repeatable process someone else can execute. This is your tap becoming automatic instead of manual, and it's the hardest step on this list. It usually takes the longest. That's normal. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means you're doing the actual hard part. Step 5. Diversify the tap. not just the bucket. Once one asset is producing reliably, the temptation is to just make it bigger. Sometimes that's right. But often the smarter move is building a second, smaller tap, because a single point of failure in your income is still fragile, even once it's automated. Step 6. Only now, once real capital exists, does traditional investing enter the picture. Index funds, real estate, whatever fits your actual goals and risk tolerance. Notice investing is step 6, not step 1. Most people try to start here with an empty bucket and wonder why nothing grows. You needed a tap before you needed a reservoir. One honest exception before we wrap this up, because balance matters more than motivation here. This framework isn't instant, and it's not a guarantee. Some skills monetize faster than others. Some markets are more crowded than others. This is a direction, not a formula you can plug numbers into and get a guaranteed date. But the direction itself is what almost nobody hands you clearly. And the direction is what actually moves the needle over years, not days. So here's the one idea worth carrying out of this video. Wealth was never really about how much money you started with. It's about whether you're spending your life filling a bucket or actually building a tap. And the tools to build that tap were never locked behind a bank account balance. They were sitting in your skill, your time, and your attention the entire time, waiting for you to actually pick them up. If there's one thing to do today, it's this. Name the one skill from step 1, right now, before you close this video. Not next week. Today, while this is still fresh. I'm genuinely curious. What's the one skill you already have that someone would pay for right now? If you packaged it correctly, drop it in the comments. I want to see what people are sitting on without realizing it. And if this changed even slightly how you think about money, take a second to hit the like button. It tells YouTube to share this with more people who are interested in quietly building real wealth instead of chasing quick money. And if that's the kind of financial mindset you're trying to develop, subscribe to Weston Wealth for more videos like this. There's more like this coming, and you'll want to already be here when it does. Because here's the truth nobody tells you up front. You don't build wealth by saving harder. You build it by building a tap. And that, you can start today with exactly $0. I will see you in the next video.